Yeah.
Progress.
Recording in progress. What's up, Joseph?
How you
So,
doing?
I'm doing good. So, dude, we're excited. As you guys know, and or may not know, Mic'd Up has been kind of a challenge trying to figure out exactly what the direction is. And we've had some superstars show up like Joseph and Aiden and Kara who know how to work the camera and all that stuff. But then it's just been very hard getting things together. And so, what we had to do was go backwards and say, what is the point of Mic'd Up in the first place? And really, what the point of Mic'd Up is in the first place is a discipleship program. It's a way to make disciples of the students that are coming through Equip and giving them another tool or another outlet, another way that we can get in front of you guys to say, hey, my heart breaks when it's like I see you once a year, and then I'm like, hope to see you next year, and then I find out that somebody walked away from the faith because they graduated or whatever the case may be. And so, what we really want to do is turn this into a tool that I'm thinking of it like this. If somebody stays with us for their whole senior year, that's going to be 12 worldview issues that we've tackled that you guys are now minor experts on how to not just know why we believe that as Christians, but how to defend that, to already be prepared to know what some of the opposition is going to be that's going to come against these things. If you stay with us a whole high school career, that's 48 different worldviews that you guys will have tackled and have the chance to not just, again, know why you believe what you believe, but what are some of the objectives coming. So that way we throw you into universities, and we always hear about the professor who's like, all right, who's a Christian in here, and somebody raises their hand and then they become the target. So instead of sending you into the universities hoping you make it, we want to send you guys into the universities as minor apologists walking through the door, and you be the agents of change. And so that's kind of that's the heartbeat for Mic'd Up, is to be able to do that. We have renamed it Mic'd Up Junior, and here's why. We're taking the pressure off of hitting the streets. That's going to be the end goal. We want to see that because, man, Ben, you can attest with your group that, man, when they get out there and hit the pavement, and Joseph, you know this as well, it changes things. You know what I mean? It just changes the way that you think about interacting with people. Evangelism is an entirely different ball game that a lot of people just don't even they don't even attempt it. And so when you start going out into the streets and evangelizing, I don't know, man, it just turns up a new fire that I think of when I think of my Christian walk. So that is the end goal, but we're taking the pressure off because sometimes it's equipment, having the right equipment. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's having. Gabby has had a struggle of having a team, if you will, of at least one or two people that she can go out besides calling on Ben's group all the time, which you guys have been a champion in that area, and going out and helping her with that. But she needs to be able to have her own team, and that's sometimes hard. She had a team, and then it turned out to be some wackadoodles who are wackadoodles, and so we need to avoid wackadoodles at all possible. And so it's not the easiest thing. So again, we're coming back to the heartbeat of this. Really is why are we doing this? And it's to make sure that we're all standing in our faith strong. We're all here for each other. I want to learn from you guys. When you guys have to continue, I will never leave youth ministry. I'll be in youth ministry for the rest of my life. It's just how I'm wired. But I'm also getting older, so I need you guys to keep me up with like I learned Fleek, but by the time I learned what Fleek is, apparently Fleek's not Fleek. Hold on, I gotta let Joseph. Joseph keeps hopping in and out. It does give me a little notification, by the way, Gabby. Fleek is obviously out, so I need you guys just as much as you need my old man wisdom to help walk it out. I need you guys to help keep me young. Ben, I think the white on your chin is signifying that you can agree with that. Chelsea, I know you are not old at all yet, but one day you're going to get older, and you're going to need these youngsters. So we all need each other. Let's see, how do I do this? So I'm going to do screen shares, right?
It's the green
There,
button at the bottom.
there it is. Multiple, no. One. Do you see my screen?
Nope.
Well, that's stupid. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, desktop one. This is what I want to do. Well, hold on. I can do this. Can I do that? Share? What does that do?
There you go.
Hold on. Get rid of this thing. I might need help. Well, no, because now this thing's like in my way. I can't see. Oh, there I go. I can move that.
Look how gray your beard is.
Hey, now.
Look at it. It's like 5 years ago.
What?
Mine's
Oh,
doing the same
because
thing.
you guys are seeing, because see, I'm not seeing, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Wow.
Like night and day.
I've aged a lot.
Literally
That's crazy. Well, that picture is, what
Dang,
is that
Dad.
picture, honey? 8 years old?
night and day.
Anyway, so here's what I've done, and Gabby is assisting me with all of this, because again, we need each other. Let me move this down here. So if you go to daveglander.com, this is where it's living right now. We may end up moving this to debunked, the website debunked, but for now, so that Gabby and I can control it and not have to call me and tell them to do something or make a modification. It's living here, and I don't pay for this website, so that's why when you see up at the top it says DA9, whatever that is. It's an old website that I have that's just kind of around. So you go to Mic'd Up Discipleship and click on there.
But
And
wait, hold on. Before you go forward, you can just type in daveglander.com and it will take you to this. It will just
yeah,
look different once you get there in the
the
search
web
bar.
address is daveglander.com, and it'll take you here, and then click on Mic'd Up Discipleship, and then it goes over, here's we've revamped the whole thing. So here's why we're doing this. This is to me, this is our verse. This is the Great Commission right here. And that's really what we want to do. We want to go out there and make disciples. I think that's the biggest failure of the church is we haven't put an emphasis on making disciples. So we want to make you guys disciple making disciples. That's the goal. And so here's my favorite lady. I just love her to death. And she says, stick with us for a year. You'll be able to know how to defend 12 important questions about the Christian faith. We are serving up the beef, because that we are where's the beef? That's just my favorite thing. So February doesn't go anywhere right now because Gabby and I are working on February, but January is completely up. And so if you click on January, here's the question for the month. Why do Christians claim they are the only right way to live? Should they stay silent about their faith? That is a question that, if you guys haven't been watching, Reasons for Hope started a vlog. What is it? A
It's
podcast?
a YouTube podcast. So
YouTube podcast.
you watch it on YouTube live.
Yeah. So it's a YouTube podcast. So and they're calling it Debunked Files, and they're getting special guests there. It's pretty cool, man. They've got some pretty heavy hitters on there, including coming up, I believe, when is Bill Jack's actual airing? It's like towards the end of this month, I think, something like that. I think it's on the 28th or something like that. But anyways, oh, you got it on what is that, your app?
You're on Spotify too.
Oh, we're on Spotify too?
Oh, I didn't know it was on Spotify.
Wow, Aaron, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I didn't even know that. That's why we need each other, Aaron. You just spelled it out. So here's the question. Now, look, this is where it's going to come down to you guys doing some work, and leaders encouraging your guys to do some work. But it's good work. So we've already went through and, like, do all roads lead to God. That's going to take you to one of our debunked videos. Do all the roads lead to God? This one is great. I watched this whole thing because it's either a 25-minute panel discussion or a very short article to read. And this is from Answers in Genesis. Is sharing your faith optional? And it's a great panel discussion. So all of these range anywhere from a few minutes to I think that one's the longest one. This if you're not familiar with Todd Friel from Wretched, this is a great one. That's why I put this is a great training on what pure evangelism from Wretched TV looks like. This is a must watch. You've got to watch that one. And then what we're gonna do is I've been battling sinus infection, and then we went to Athens the other day and realized that school is not in. So we both drove all the way out to Athens. We get to the square. I was like, Gabby, have you parked yet? She goes, no. And I said, don't bother. There is nobody out here. I mean, it was brutally empty. And so we are going to be hitting the streets and asking this very question up here. Why do Christians claim they are the only way? And should they be quiet about their faith? What we're going to do with that is show you guys, here's what hitting the streets looks like. We've realized that we really haven't modeled that for you guys at all. We've kind of just told you, here some info, go hit the streets. And so we're going to actually go out and model that for you, so that way you guys and you'll be able to see what are some of the responses we're getting, and that'll help us kind of deal with that going forward. All the meetings are in Eastern time, and Aaron, so that way you can still make FCA, because when I realized that, I was like, wait a second, you should be able to do that. And then if you miss a meeting, like I know Jairus wanted to be able to access this, if you miss a meeting right here, when you click on this, it's going to take you to our Zoom link right now. On the 29th, when you click on that, it's going to take you to that Zoom link where Bill Jack's going to be on there as our special guest, because that's one of the things we're going to be doing every month. It's either going to be somebody from Reasons for Hope or a special guest. And we've got some like Bill Federer, we're working on him for next month. Bill is one of the most knowledgeable Christian historian. He's infamous for his brain on history and stuff like that. So you guys are going to get a chance to interact with some really, really awesome folks that we're lining up. Again, we want to train you guys. We want to see you guys grow in your faith and walk boldly and stand upright. So after the meeting has happened, like this meeting, once it's done, I'll put the link up here. So if you want to go back and watch it, or if you want to share it with somebody, just go back to January 8th, click on that link, and it'll pull up the video. So that way, if anybody needs to watch it, then of course there's a little bit about what the episode will be like. So that is the new and improved website, if you will. How do I make this go away? So that's the new and improved. Oh, I think I just made the wrong thing go away. This is dumb. Go away. I don't know how to make this go away. So I have this pulled up, and then one of the things we're going to be doing as well. Can you guys see that screen? Am I doing that right? The coexist.
No,
It's still the mic'd up page.
Are you sharing
Um,
your desktop or just this window?
That's a great question. Let me desktop share. Okay, now
There you
you
go.
awesome. I'm gonna figure this out. This is Aaron. Actually, you got to be the first one to ever see this talk, and this is why I wanted to share this with you guys. And then I want to ask you guys some questions. I'm just gonna share what we're gonna do is basically have our guest teachers share about a 15-minute lesson, kind of talking about what that is and stuff, and then open it up for 15 minutes worth of dialogue, talking back and forth. What have you guys studied? Got any questions so far? And we're trying to make these like 30-minute meetings, so that way they're painless. And because I love the fact that Zoom, you can do it from anywhere. You don't have to get your students together or your group together. You can literally put this out like, here's what we're doing, and get on the phone call. Is 6:30 a good time for most everybody? That puts it after work and before FCA? Okay, perfect. We're gonna do the second and last Tuesday or Monday of every month. So it's gonna be the same thing every time. The second Tuesday and the last one. This one, there happens to be 5 Tuesdays. So the last Tuesdays in 3 weeks, because instead of it being in 2 weeks from now, it'll be in 3 weeks from now, because it's the 29th. And so just keep in mind, it's the second and last one of every month. But this is where I want to get you guys. This is my heart. This topic that we're asking, like, do Christians really believe we know the only way? And the topic of it, I stole this from Carl, because this is the cover slide for this talk. You're a closed-minded, intolerant, bigoted, opinionated, fundamentalist hick. That's the name of this talk. And the reason why I call it that is because if you've been around Carl, he makes those statements a lot about the way that people think of Christians, because people think Christians are the only ones. And what my encouragement to you is I want to see you guys hitting the streets knowing that, man, it's not just us. We're not the only ones out there proselytizing our worldview. What happens when I do that? Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Oh, that works out good. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'm just going to go through a couple just to give you an example. And Aaron got a chance. Aaron, you can be brutally honest. Was this a decent talk, or did it hit home, or was it like, why are you talking about this? What's
I
that?
thought it was good. I
Okay,
thought it
good.
was good. Explain
Okay.
how everybody's trying to put their own stuff out there.
Well, because I feel like a lot of the times, and Ben, you can speak to this as well, because you've been doing this a long time too. You've been in youth ministry a long time. I feel like people are afraid to go share their faith because they're like, well, I don't want to burden somebody with it, or I don't, everybody tells me that, I'm a bigot, or I'm closed-minded, and I'm like, we're not the only ones, man. And so here, I'll give you a couple examples of what I share, but this is where I want you guys to get to. I want you guys to get to the point where you're so excited, you're putting your own full-length talks together on this question. Forget 4 links and a Monday night Zoom call. and hitting the streets. I mean, I want you guys to get to the point where you're like, man, I'm owning this subject, because man, if somebody ever tells me you a closed-minded, bigoted Christian, just shut up, nobody wants to hear your opinion, I'll be like, wait a second, everybody else is out there sharing their opinion. Why do I have to be the one to shut up? And so I pull it down like this and say, let's look at Islam and take a look at how Islam, because this sticker, this is the definition from Wikipedia. I got to move it so I can read it. Where's my mouse? Oh, I don't have a mouse during this. I don't know what that says. The sticker signifies capability or desire of humans to live together, I think is what it says. But that's what Wikipedia's definition is of this sticker. And I'm like, okay, if that's the truth, that everybody wants to live together, then explain this.
اسمع يا أوباما، اسمع يا عدو الله، اسمع يا من جئت تقبل أحذية اليهود وأقدامهم. اسمع سيأتي اليوم الذي تدوسك فيه أرجل الأقدام المسلمين الطاهرة. اللهم أحصي البوذيين والهندوس، اللهم أحصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا.
Now, how do I get out of this? Help. No. There you go. So my point is, I'm like, look, there's Islam. And Islam, that was really nice of them. It's like, hey, let's kill them and slay them, count every last one of them. Even naming the Buddhists and the Hindus. I'm like, what did they ever do to you guys? I thought it was just the great Satan and the little Satan, Israel and America, that was making them so mad. But if you want to tell me to shut up, then tell this guy to shut up too. And then I don't have time to play this video, but Aaron can attest to it. The next one that I play is a room full of guys sitting there, and the guy stands up and says, hey, look, because everybody's going to say, oh, you just picked out this guy and he's just a radical. And I'm like, no, that guy is normal. And let me show you what normal is. This is a room full of Sunni Muslims, the quote unquote peaceful Muslims. And this guy's like, I'm sick and tired of people telling us we get speakers coming up here with these views on capital punishment and death for this and death for that and slay them. And I just want to ask you guys, are you guys normal Muslims? Yes. Do you guys believe in these things? Yes. So you're not extremists? No. So it's not just extremists that believe these things. It's every normal Muslim agrees. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe I have this video clip and I can share it, because it is completely atrocious to their case. So then I go on, and this one's about Buddhism and Buddhists and this one's about Jewish people who are defaming Christian places. And this one's a Wiccan, because, you got up here, you've got the Wiccan symbol up here with that. And so this one, she starts tearing apart the Bible. And so I go through and I, one by one, I'm breaking it down. And here's, this was Miss America runner up. And he asked her a question about gay marriage. And then she just answers it nice, and he tears her to shreds on national TV. And it's like, why can all of these people, then I get into science down here, why can all these people, including science, share their worldview? Why they're allowed to, and nobody's telling them to shut up. And so when Christians are told to shut up about their faith, I'm like, look, we are not the dogmatic ones out there. We're just like everybody else. We have a worldview. We believe what we say they believe. And then, of course, I have to play this all the time. I'm not going to play it now, but I always have to come back to this guy with Penn Jillette and say, dude, he's like, look, he's an atheist. And he says, if you truly believe there's a hell and that it's eternal and that people will end up there in suffering, if you believe that place exists, how bad would you have to hate somebody to not tell them about it? How bad would you have to hate them? And so I kind of close with that. And actually I close with this, because this is my favorite one. I need to move this so I can read it. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news. Romans 10:15. That's I fall back on that a lot, because I don't like feet. I think feet are disgusting. I think they're nasty. They stink and they're gross. But how beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news, because there's not enough people doing it. And so I have an entire talk dedicated to this subject of, and what we're going to be doing is we're tying all this in, like Bill Jack's interview that he's going to do on debunked files is dealing with this question: should we shut up? And he's going to say, no, we shouldn't shut up. I already know what he's going to say. Obviously, he's going to say, no, we shouldn't shut up. And then he's going to give 4 questions that every person has to answer. And he's going to be given tactics on how to go out into the streets and share your faith. You went out with him, Ben. Your group went out with Bill Jack when they did the bus tour. Mm-hmm. He is an evangelism master. And so next Tuesday, the next time we meet, we'll have an evangelism master on here
Monday,
to share tech.
Monday, yes,
What did I say?
Monday,
What did I say?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Monday, ignore me. Yes, the next Monday that we meet on the 29th, we'll have Bill Jack on here. And so that's how things are going to go from here is we're setting this up for you guys to do your own training, and then twice a month we're going to hop on here, and like I said, we're trying to make this, if anybody wants to stay past 30 minutes, they can, but like Aaron's got to go and lead FCA. I know people have things to do, so we just want to touch this, and we want to make sure you guys are able to, by the end of the month, we want to make sure you can answer this question for yourself. Why do Christians claim they have the only right way to live? Are we? I don't think so. I think everybody out there claims to know the right way. Like everybody, Muslims claim they have the right way. Buddhists claim they have the right way. Science claims they have the right way. The left claims they have the right way. So it's not just us. And so should they stay silent about their faith? Absolutely not. We would be doing a complete disservice to our communities and in our world if we stayed silent about what we have, which is the good news of Jesus Christ. And so I'm encouraged. I like the direction this is heading. I think this is the direction it should have been heading the whole time. And then Ben, obviously your group is already hitting the streets, so we want to continue that. Like but that's going to be at your pace. There's no more pressure on there at all. I want you guys, because basically what's happening, Gabby and I are taking up the mantle for going out and getting footage when you guys don't. So if you go out and do it, we may not have to do it, but if you don't do it, there's no pressure on your group to do it. Aaron, I know that you said you've got a team and you've got some equipment and stuff like that. You and I probably need to talk privately about just making sure we cover audio. And if I didn't say audio, that's the most important part. Like you can have a blurred out face, but dude, if you can't understand what they're saying, it doesn't work. It's not usable. So it's good to not have a blurred out face because and we'll talk about filming and how close to get to their face when we do it. But that's why Gabby and I are going to go out and do these in order to show, here's what we're talking about. This is how you bring, when we went out and did the last one together, what does hope mean, or what does joy mean for Christmas? And I mean, I had people just like, joy is a Starbucks coffee, or joy is hanging out with Santa Claus. And I've just got a knack with bringing people back around to it. It's like, I'll have fun with them, but then it's like, let me reel you back in. And then we got some really good footage when we went out the last time. So yeah, so we got 3 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Any
Like I said, if
questions?
anybody needs to stay on longer, we'll stay on as long as we want. For everybody else, I want to make sure that we're conscious of time. And this one is a little bit different because I wanted to reintroduce, like, here's what we're doing, and make sure you use that website, because it's going to, every month it's going to be the resource tool for you. Oh, one last thing. If you haven't downloaded the app, go to your app store and download the app. Okay. And
The
then
Reasons for Hope app.
the Reasons for Hope app. Okay. And then here's what we're doing. We're doing this for Equip and Mic'd Up. So if you go to the app, hold on, wait. If you go to the app, right? I wish I could do this on the computer screen, but you'll see the little message thing up top. And if you click on, the little message thing, I'm trying so hard to do this. You see how it's Mic'd Up Junior and Equip Alumni? Those are two chat groups that are started there. So we're not using X or Twitter or whatever it's called. We're not using Instagram. We're not using Facebook. We go to our app, and this is a place where we want to make sure that, oh, look, somebody just went there. We want to make sure that if you've got a question or a concern or anything like that about this month's question, that's where you go and you talk, and we'll all be there for each other. Amen. We've got to be there for each other. And so go to the R4H app, go to messaging, and then click on Mic'd Up Junior. And it's going to ask you to keep creeps out. You have to ask to be involved. And when you do, like Aaron, well, I'm a manager on both of them too. When you ask to be involved, you'll have to be approved. And that's to keep creeps out. It's not to keep anybody else other than creeps, because especially on the Equip one, we really want that to be a place where Equip alumni can talk and be able to stay connected together throughout the year, and prayer requests or help with whatever. And we don't want strangers in there, so you're going to have to ask for permission. But once you get permission, then you're there. So if you have anything for this month. Like if you hit in this question, you're like, man, I was watching this as sharing our faith optional, and man, I just was wondering about this. Go to that message portal and hit it in there, and I get a note every time you do. I get a notification. So
Just requested.
And we're still going to keep the Facebook page as well. So this,
yeah,
Well,
it's still there.
yeah, we'll have the Facebook page. We'll have the messaging on the Reasons for Hope app. So there's no excuses. You guys have multiple ways to message us. I'm sure a lot of you already have our phone numbers as well. So if you need anything, you have multiple ways to reach us.
Did somebody say they
Kara,
Yeah, I did.
all right, I'm gonna have to get with it. Says brand spanking new to me. Which one did you do? Equip alumni?
The mic'd up junior.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask her because I don't see your request anywhere. But that's Alyssa runs our app, so Alyssa's back. Today is her first day back after pushing a child out of herself.
Oh, I got the request.
How did you get the request?
I don't know. I'm approving them. I got Joseph and Kara.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and approve them.
I got one too. Yay! You're a member.
Yeah, I don't know how to see it. Well, anyways. This is why I'm not the only one who's doing this, because where I see where they've joined. Oh,
I got a prayer request.
you'll have to show me later.
I think Taylor said she sent one
Oh
too.
my gosh, it's so cool.
Where is it showing up, Gabby?
Well, if I can get another request to come through, I'll show you.
Is it under Discover or Conversations?
So if you're on the app,
Yeah,
I hit the messaging at the top,
yeah.
and then it pops up join request
Oh, I don't see that.
there at the top. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm an admin and you're not. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, look, join requests. It just popped up. Joseph. Boom. I approve you, Joseph. There you go.
yeah, Aiden and Catherine.
Hey, to what?
They're on here.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they're
are
on
the-
there.
No, I meant the.
Yeah, but they're on here so they
Okay.
can hear.
Hey, Aiden and Catherine, if y'all want to send a request, y'all can go ahead and do that too. That'd be cool.
Sweet.
Gotta
Yeah.
get my peoples hooked up.
That's a great way of staying. There's Taylor. Approve. I guess that's what I have to do, Gabby, is I've got to go back and refresh it. Like I
Yeah,
gotta
that's what it
close
seems.
it out and reopen it.
Or you can add a prayer request.
That's what I'm saying. I really like this. This is a never bored.
Yeah, who's never
All right.
bored?
Who's never bored?
That's Heather.
Oh.
Heather.
Are you ready?
I'm never bored.
What do you mean? You gotta put your name on there, Heather.
I like, who is this?
That's what I'm saying. Because if you weren't on the call to say that, I wouldn't approve you because I'm like, no, I'm not approving that creeper.
Well, it asked me to sign in with Google. That's my Google thing.
Yeah, I think you can go in. So you can go in. If you go back to the app, up at the top right hand side,
Pin or
go in there, and it says edit your profile information, and you can put a picture and your name and all that stuff.
Okay.
Never bored.
email.
Huh?
Email.
All right.
Does anyone have any questions?
I mean, that's it.
When you
but I don't
guys
know if
put
I can
together-
sign in, though.
So what?
When you guys put together teams, like what
What's
size
that?
teams are you guys looking for?
The Jesus reason.
Gabby and I can go out and do it by ourselves. So, I mean, it can be done as little as 2 people. I don't necessarily suggest yet for youth going out. I would always love to see a leader of some sort just for safety reasons. That's kind of keeping an eye out. We have never experienced like any sort of danger going out. But then, times are changing, and I think that could change as well as we go forward, where people are just getting more hostile towards anything that's not left wokeism. And so I would say a minimum of 3 would be good. It depends on how much footage you're trying to get to, because if it helps to have grabbers are a huge thing. And if anybody needs to talk about this, with anything, either we can stay on here or we can have another private conversation about, like, what does a team look like? But you basically got a film person, you got the person running the mic, asking the questions, and you've got a grabber at a minimum. You've got those three people, because the grabber is the one who makes that initial contact. Hey, we're out doing field research for Debunked. Just asking worldview questions. We care about your opinion. We really want to know what you're saying. And you put it on them, like, we're not here to start an argument with you.
Or to make you look stupid.
Or to make you look stupid. We're not here to make you look stupid. We genuinely care about what you think about this. And if they ask, what is it going to be about? It's just, most of the time you can get away with just saying, we like to keep that until the camera rolls, just so we can get your genuine reaction. We don't, the more prepared the reaction, the less effect it's going to have as far as making your point valid, and most people are okay with that. Some people are like, no, I really need to know what the question is. And half of those people, no, 85% of those people who have to know what the question is are never going to get on camera in the first place. So you're kind of waiting, but you'll learn all this as you go. It's a cool experience. I've been doing man on the street stuff for 20 years.
Dave, we always say we're trying to get people's input on worldviews.
That's what I'm saying. Just tell them worldviews. But when they want to get the specific question, it's like I try and tell them, it's like, let's wait. I want to get your gut reaction. Like I want to capture that, because that's what's important to us. So
But then people will ask, well, where is this going to go?
well, and that's if you're going to hit the streets, that's another thing that Gabby and I are working on, is making sure you have gospel bracelets, making sure you have a leave behind, making sure, that's, you've got all the stuff that's necessary, making sure everybody's got t-shirts, making sure, and we're going to try and up the swag game and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Bracelets
some
are
people,
great.
they might ask you, like, okay, you're gonna film me, but where are you gonna put this video? And I usually tell people that if we decide to use it, which we may not, it would either go on, those just social media platforms. But I always just try to emphasize the fact that we are truly just want to hear what they have to say. It's not a debate. We're not here to make them look stupid or silly. It's not a prank. It's a serious heart-to-heart conversation, and that usually calms people down enough to be like, okay, maybe, or they'll say yes. But I always try to emphasize that this isn't some silly TikTok video where we're gonna blast someone on social media and cancel them or anything.
When you frame it, I'm out here doing field research. That just, I don't know why that term field research, just people warm up to that. I'm out here doing field research. We want to see what public opinion is on this. It's a public opinion poll. So, and we try not to say anything about Christianity or political anything. We just, even though a lot of the questions will lean towards politics and religion, we don't say that up front, because if we do, nobody's going to talk unless you're in Greenville. And Joseph has like the honey hole, dude. Greenville, South Carolina is the bomb, dude. I would love to have that. Aaron, if you got to run, I totally get it. Sweet. Thank you, brother. Yeah, Joseph has that. Yeah. He got the bomb diggly dank. All right. Chelsea, what do you think? Look at that water guzzler. That's awesome.
Mr. Tinky, can you say hi?
Hello.
So good. So do you still want us to go out? Like, it's normally me, Joseph, and Jairus that usually go out.
If you guys are ready to go out, yes, I would love to talk to you about some of the coaching as far as how to keep the conversation rolling. So let's plan on having like a private call and say, let's, it might even be a Zoom call or something like that. But let me coach, because Joseph, you're usually in the one holding the camera or the microphone for the most part. I've got a few tips for you on just how to have that conversation going more, how to have a little bit more fun with it instead of just asking the question and then, what do you mean by that? How do you come to that conclusion? And then moving on, like how to make it more of a conversation. Because if you go out and if you get the right 2 or 3 conversations going, that's all you need. It's more than instead of having 40 different responses, you go out and have a couple of genuine conversations, and that's going to go a really long way. That's going to give you a lot of stuff to pull from. So, but and it shows that we genuinely care. You know what I mean? We're not just out there because at the end of the day, I hope all of us are doing this for the advancement of the kingdom. You know, and it's and a lot of it's a learning tool for other folks. You know, like they've never gone out into the streets and asked any questions, so they have no idea what people think. So that's a lot of the reason why we do what we do. But at the end of the day, that's also to hopefully build disciples that are making disciples. You know.
Well, also the people that you're talking to, it might be the first time that a Christian actually has a heart-to-heart conversation with them about something. Like, for example, I had a 2-hour conversation with a lesbian couple, and by the end of the conversation, they were thanking me and saying, "Please come back. Please go to this place and this place because you're the first person who's ever talked to us like this." And because they were hesitant to become Christian because they were lesbians, and for the first time someone had a real honest conversation with them about it. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind too. This might be the first time that a Christian is actually showing genuine care and love towards them.
Yeah. I'll never forget when we went out with Ben's group for the mic'd up bus tour, and these two this young 20s, mid-20s couple just kind of came out of the alley, or I don't even know where these people came from. And Carl went and talked to them while we were doing other stuff. And during that conversation, he prayed with them to receive Christ just right then and there. And they just kind of came they saw what we were doing. That's Peter, to answer your question a little bit further. If you get a lot of excitement around what you're doing, you're going to draw people to yourself, and you're not even going to have to go and have a lot of grabbers, because people are going to be like, what is going on? Especially when you're all in matching gear and stuff. But that's kind of that's a tough one. Getting a bunch of people together at the same time to all go out and do it is probably the hardest possible facet of what we're doing. It's like pulling teeth sometimes. I don't know why. I see that little smirk on Ben's face as I'm saying this. He knows. I mean, it's just tough. We're all busy. We all have schedules, you know.
I
So
have a question about the app.
okay.
So like I was creating my profile and like it's saying you can put your phone number. Is that for y'all only, or does
I
everyone-
asked that exact question today so I can answer your exact question, because I wanted to know, like, does that mean everybody who's on the app can see it? No, only Candace and Alyssa see that. They're the only
Okay,
people that have admin access. Yeah, I asked the exact same question today. Otherwise, I would not have known how to answer that.
okay, good.
The app is and we're going to continue to build that out, because like I said, we really want to see Equip turn into a year-round thing, you know, where it's not just, we were just supposed to have Equip Winter Blast, the first one. We had to cancel it. I was very sad about that. So we're already looking at doing next year in Atlanta, so that way we're not contending with a northern state like Ohio and the possibility of having to cancel again.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're for that.
Yeah.
I'm so up for some Atlanta. Okay?
We picked Cincinnati because of the Ark Encounter in the Creation Museum. So, and we got discount passes from AIG and all that stuff. Like, we did it on purpose because there's so many. I was looking at it like, if I can give youth pastors a reason to take their kids up there, I want them to take their kids up there. You know, Ben and I have gone with his group twice now, and
Yeah,
like,
thanks,
and it's a powerful tool to use up there. And so I want to, so we'll probably try and do something else in the Cincinnati area. Just like I said, it gives the pastor an excuse to make the trip, you know, because it's well worth it. So
absolutely worth it. Do it if you can do it.
especially, Ben, have you seen they're starting to build the first century Jerusalem and Tower of Babel and all that, the stuff that was in the plans from years ago? They're finally starting to break ground on all that. So
That's awesome.
it's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, they did a great job. They really did. They did a great job.
Yeah. I agree. All right, everybody. Well, if you have any questions, we are here. We want you guys to know that we are here. We want to, again, we want to make Equip a year-round thing, not just a week-long camp. We want to try and figure out how do we stay with kids when they graduate high school and they're no longer kids anymore and they're adulting or in universities. How do we stay with them? How do we make sure that we're all in this together? So if you guys got any ideas on how to make that happen, we are more than all ears. Cool.
Cool.
Any questions? No? All right, next meeting, I want to know what you guys think about those links, if they're helpful or not, because if they're not, then we're gonna have to keep working until we fine tune it. I personally think if you go and study out those links, you're gonna come away pretty challenged with the whole thing in a good way. So Gabby, you want to pray us out?
Sure. Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity for us to all be here on this lovely Zoom call to relaunch Mic'd Up, and now it is called Mic'd Up Junior. And I pray that your hands are just all over it, Lord, that you are deep in this program and that each and every student and leader that is a part of this group walks away feeling more encouraged, feeling more educated, and just gets closer to you, Lord, and gets closer to their peers. And so much so that when they go out on the street or even just talking to a random person one day, that they feel your presence so heavy with them and they have the confidence to boldly speak about you and your love for those people, Lord. I hope that this program just soars, Lord, and I pray that you guide Dave and I and every leader and student as we navigate this program to continue to make it everything that's your will, Lord. We praise you and we love you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, I'm gonna hit stop record and then I will figure out how to upload this to the website. And so if you want to share it with anybody, give me like 24 hours for my old self to figure out how to do that. Cool. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.